So that's also something that the NTSB will be looking at. Another thing the NTSB is now looking at is whether or not one of the victims, one of the two 16-year-old Chinese girls who was killed in this crash, whether her death was brought about because she was struck by a fire rescue truck responding to this. The driver of that truck acknowledges he may have come in contact with her, but the question is whether that was responsible or somehow contributed to her death. Meanwhile, about 24 passengers remain hospitalized, 7 of them in critical condition, and some of these people have very severe injuries, some missing limbs, broken bones, in some cases permanent injuries such as paralysis. Andrea?
And John, I know the doctors found that people, they walked in, but they had, under further examination and after scans were taken, x-rays, they had really profound spinal injuries. So those were really, really severe injuries that had not been noticed at first. One question is the fact that apparently 2 of the chutes deployed inside the plane rather than external.
That's exactly right. That's something the NTSB will also be looking at. 2 of the chutes did deploy inside, trapping some people, including some cabin crew members. The first responders who got there said that when they got there, the crew was desperate, asking them for knives, presumably to puncture those chutes and to free the people who were trapped. 2 of the policemen, the 2 San Francisco police officers who were first on the scene, tossed up their knives. They had knives on them, tossed them up to the crew members in the plane so they could free people who had been trapped.
And the real heroes may well have been just not only those first responders, but the flight attendants. The flight attendants who were carrying children out and repeatedly going back into that plane. John Yang, thanks for staying on top of all of this for us today. Thanks to you. And
at Shell, we believe the world needs a broader mix of energies, which is why we are supplying natural gas to generate cleaner electricity that has around 50% fewer CO2 emissions than coal. And why, with our partner in Brazil, we are producing a biofuel made from renewable sugarcane to fuel cars. Let's broaden the world's energy mix. Let's go.
Tonight we mark the passing of an old friend, a friend who died today after many years of neglect. Dante Krysto. Born during the heady days of late '95 in Silicon Valley, back when it was anything goes in the World Wide Web, Alta Vista was a hot new search site on the internet superhighway. It was able to scan more web pages than any other search engine. With 250 million websites indexed and 2.5 million search requests a day, Alta Vista was the digital flashlight that helped guide the way when the net was at 1/3 of today's volume. If you were surfing the internet then, you were probably on Alta Vista. If you're really old school, you used it back when it looked like this, back when it was praised for its minimalist interface. Or maybe you came a bit later when it was slick and yellow and stuff. Now, slick for